Hi, this is Tomato Tim with Organic Oasis in Northern California in Zone 9. I'm here today along with my buddy Benny to show you the unboxing of a new tomato cage I want to try. This cage is from Forever Garden Beds, and it's a modular plant cage. It contains three 80-inch high cages that are just shy of 20 inches wide. So I'm going to unbox today and we'll see how things go with unboxing this. I'm always looking for new um, tomato cages, especially for my determinate and cherry tomatoes, because I have some DIY ones that work okay, but I still think I could get some improvement on this. So on YouTube and various places, I saw people recommending the Forever Garden Beds modular plant cage. They have two sizes. I'm showing the unboxing of the 80-inch high. I highly recommend for tomatoes that you use only the 80-inch high because you need as large of a tomato cage as possible, like 6 or 7 feet, in order to really support the healthy plants. So this in the set, there are 3 sets of 10 poles. So 10 poles per cage, and then 3 of these sets of rings that are already separated out, and then also 3 of these little connectors. So the first thing after you separate all the pieces out for one cage, the first thing you do is assemble the rings. And 5 of these go together with each of the cages. One of the rings has a slot in it on one side, and then it has like a little snap on the other side. So the slot goes along with the snap. So you just put that together. It won't fit the wrong way. So if it's not going together, that could be why. But this is the slot. This slips in there, and you just put 5 of these together. The other thing that I'm a little excited about with this trellis is it appears that you can take this down very easily and store it flat. Whereas some of the other tomato cages that I've used, one of the problems with them is they really don't store flat during the off season. So you just put these together. Last one, number 5. So now we have 5 of these rings together. Now what we do is we connect the poles together with the connectors. So we've got 10 poles. We're going to connect 2 of them together each. So we'll have 5 long double-sized poles after I'm finished. We can just snap these 5 in here. Make sure that the pointy part is down because that's going to go into the garden and into the ground or garden bed. Okay, and now it says space the rings out as shown or adjust to follow the plant growth. So then you can just attach them. And we'll put one on the top. Just snaps in. Okay, here it is. So let's go see if it'll work on the smart sacks. We use 20-gallon smart sacks to grow our tomatoes, all of our indeterminate tomatoes. For our determinate tomatoes, we use either 10-gallon or 20-gallon sacks, and we use 20-gallon for our cherry tomatoes. So I'm hoping that this will be useful for our cherry tomatoes and determinate tomatoes, which means it needs to be compatible with both 10-gallon and 20-gallon bags. So let's go check this out. So here we have a 10-gallon bag, and we're planning on planting. We're still in the process of planting our garden for 2025 spring, but I'm thinking that'll probably be either a determinate or a cherry tomato. So for the 10-gallon bags, this goes well around it, so this could be pounded in on the outside and do a really good job of supporting the tomatoes. Once you assemble the trellis, I suggest you go through and make sure all of these are fully snapped in. All the rings are fully snapped into the poles to make sure you don't have a problem later. So this is a no-brainer. These will should work really well for my 10-gallon sacks. Let's check out the 20-gallon. Yeah, I kind of thought it's right at the hairy edge of the 20-gallon. But I think by putting this all the way over inside of the 20-gallon and pushing this down, I can just have the others outside. So let me see if that would work. So that should work just fine. Part of it, I've got 2 legs inside of the sack. The rest are outside of the sack. But the point is we can put them in, and it should be, we can press them in a little bit. It may be, whoops, I just broke a piece. Be careful, don't press down on these or they may break. So one thing I'm not happy about is that this broke, but such is life. So anyway, so this should be sturdy enough, and I'll put some put a piece of twine and probably stake it down so that it stays down. But here's a standard large tomato cage that you can buy at your Home Depot or hardware stores. And this is what I started with years ago, but these are just way too small. By the time you get them into the ground, they're only about 3 feet high. They're normally not that heavy gauge. So what do I say about these? Okay. Then we graduated to this, which was a do-it-yourself cage. I bought the wire with the 4-inch squares and went ahead and zip tied it together. You could cut through where you needed to for your irrigation. This one is my current keeper. So I think this is my favorite cage that I found so far. The one thing I'm a little worried about is that if you have plastics that are not UV protected, I've had them fail, break down because of that. And so I'm making sure that I'm getting all UV protected items. I'm not sure if this plastic is UV protected or not, but we'll see. Some people have been having good success with it on YouTube. So I'm optimistic that this will be the case for us as well. The one point I'll make is when you're adjusting these rings, be careful not to put pressure on the center where I snap these together. If you put too much pressure on that, that can snap. So if you're going to move it along with where it snaps on. Don't try to push in the center, push up or down in the center. So other than that, a little feedback. I think this is the direction I'm going to go for all of my determinate and cherry tomatoes. I'm going to be string binding the indeterminate tomatoes, and I'll do a separate YouTube video on that. Happy growing!